I have grabbed a few things with me today. The first thing is snacks. The second thing is my hair clip. And the third thing is, and I know for a fact that some people are probably going to redeem this soon because I just started stream, my 64-ounce water jug. Enjoy the vibrato from that thing. Just wanted to do that before I actually start anything else. There's the hydrate. Hi, Elise. Use it then. I'm gonna. Do you hear me undoing the twisty of the lid? Hi, Elise. How you doing? Alrighty then. So, last we left off, I was in... God, just X. You're dead. You're slowly dead. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and look at other people's playthroughs, and I think I found out where the fuck I done goofed. I had to click her head. So let me go ahead and just take care of that real quick. Alright, call 4 times, leaving at least 3 seconds between each. Once I got that shit done, we'll go back to the title screen. 1, 2, at least I'm not Coco who's right now with the Yan. About that. There we go! Oh? You know that signal, do you? I entirely forgot that I had to touch her face. I've been touching everywhere else from, like, the tail and everything. I had to touch her face. Bruh. Oh no, at least it gets even worse. Ogamish commissioned me to draw something very funny involving Coco and the Yan, but I'm gonna ask Coco if he's okay with me doing that. That's a major thing I'm going to be asking to him later tonight after I pick up Ogamish. He is not off of work until roughly around 9:30, so about 30 minutes into prog, so I'll just have to forewarn Louise and the others about that. Anyways, for those that are watching this on YouTube, hi, yes, I'm talking about shit that is happening behind the scenes as I'm recording this live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/NillaCelium. Feel free to watch me there. Anyways, back to the game. Oh? You know that signal, do you? That signal is extremely important to me. I won't allow just anyone to use it, least of all someone childish whim. So first I have to be sure. Who are you? Yuza Minakuchi. Huh? Yuza. So you do know. Allow me to welcome you, Yuza Minakuchi, or rather, Yuza Minakuchi's severed consciousness. I am the mermaid called Ise Bay. You've passed through here 17 times now. I suppose it's not that strange you noticed me. This is the place you humans call Ryugu. Though I hear it's also called things like the Eternal World and the World Beyond. Feel free to call it what you like. Whatever the name, it's one of the many worlds that souls of the departed move on to the afterlife. Well, I suppose that's not entirely accurate. The space we're in now serves more as its boundary than anything else. There's something I always thought to talk to you about. Something I had to talk to you about if we ever happened to meet. No, I never thought you'd come seek me out like this, in the form you are now. But it seems you have your own reasons for doing so. You wish to speak with me, yes? So, what shall we talk about first? What do you mean by boundary? How to explain? This is the space that connects the two worlds you can travel between. The world the living Yuza Minakuchi inhabits, and the world that you, a separate portion of Yuza Minakuchi's consciousness, usually exist in. As a spirit, you will always pass through this space when traveling to the world of the living. Normally something like this would be unthinkable, if not impossible. But it seems you're something of an exception. Was there anything else? Tell me about my mom. You're asking if Mari and I were friends. I'm only going to say this once. You might be Mari's son, but I won't stand for you intruding upon our relationship. The relationship Mari and I had can't be described by so simple as a word as friends. This isn't the only world that souls of the dead journey to afterlife, you know. Their number is immeasurable. There are worlds beyond counting. Mari's soul has gone somewhere far, far away. Even here in Ryugu, I won't be able to see her again, so don't ask me any more. Leave me to my memories of her. Was there anything else? What happened on the day of the disaster? Yes, of course. You'd want to know about that. I do owe you an explanation of what happened back then. 5 years ago, on the day the calamity struck. Let's get this out of the way. First, I was indeed the one who made you an 800-year immortal. But if you come here looking for a way to regain your humanity, I'm sorry, but that's no longer possible. Even as a mermaid, there's nothing I can do. You, or rather the Yuza Minakuchi of the mortal world, are now bound to live out the remaining 795 years of your life there, neither aging nor dying. Nothing can reverse this now. Now then, let me tell you what happened on that day 5 years ago and about the years leading up to it. Let's see. Sobe, one of the 3 mermaids who were said to have lived near Taishima about 400 years ago, she has since returned to home Ryugu. Mari and Sobe. After becoming unable to return to Ryugu, Sobe had ceased to show herself on the surface even before members of the Sobe come online. However, upon noticing that 400 years has passed since the sinking of Taishima, she cautiously attempted contact with the current generation's inheritor of the family duty, a woman by the name of Mari Somikawa. In the past, any human she encountered had either treated her as an object of worship or sought her flesh. Perhaps as a result, she immediately said something was different about Mari, who treated her in a friendly manner from the moment of their meeting and promised to do all she could to return her to Ryugu. There was no pretense in Mari's bearing, and her attitude when speaking to Sobe was casual and light-hearted. Gradually, Sobe began to open up to her. After some time, they agreed on a secret signal and began meeting superstitiously, growing closer the more they learned about each other. A strange sense of trust came to blossom between them, one transcending the boundaries of their respective species. Mari had originally resolved to remain single and never start a family of her own in order to devote herself entirely to her duty with Sobe. However, Sobe strongly opposed this, saying that Mari's life here would continue even when she was gone, so Mari should not deny herself a possible future with her own family. She had seen how happy one of her former compatriots had been upon finding love, and believed Mari deserved to know such joy as well if she wished to. Mari seemed to bother at the thought, but said that she would consider it if someone suitable ended up coming along. However, that moment came sooner than expected. Upon moving to Kamashima, she met the love of her life, Tosuke Minakuchi. Sobe was delighted for Mari and offered her a heartfelt congratulations upon hearing of their marriage. While she did not understand the joy of having a family herself, she was gratified to see Mari so happy. It was Mari's constant wish to be able to introduce her beloved family to her dearest friend, but it was forbidden to reveal the existence of mermaids to anyone, even her husband and child. Eventually, the two reached a compromise. Sobe said she would meet them when the time came for her to return to Ryugu, reasoning that there would be no harm in revealing herself for such a short space of time. This agreement became a cherished promise between them. Thus did the years continue to pass, Mari's son growing all the while until the day of the Kamashima Southern Sea disaster arrived. The Southern Sea disaster. In the days leading up to the disaster, a strange rumbling could be heard coming from the sea. Sobe took this as the sign that the storm caused by the curse of the raging waves was approaching, and she and Mari mistakenly concluded that this meant that the seal on Ryugu's entrance would soon be lifted. Although the timing was earlier than expected, the two were overcome with excitement as the thought that Sobe could finally fulfill her long-held dream of returning home, and couldn't bring themselves to doubt the signs. They put together a plan. Even if the storm were to come while they were out at sea, Mari could use the bronze mirror to suppress it, allowing Sobe to pass through the entrance to Ryugu alone. Resolved that this was where they would part ways, the two spent that final night together, talking until the sun rose. On the day their plan would be put into action, Mari took Tosuke and Yuza out into the bay on a boat to introduce them to Sobe as promised. Although pained by having to part with Sobe, she was buoyed? How do you even pronounce that word? She was buoyed by the thought that she would now be able to devote herself fully to motherhood and to her family that had always protected her without reservation. Sobe, meanwhile, was secretly trailing them from the seabed. Disliking the sound of propellers, she was unable to get close to the boat as it was moving. The raging storm. The storm that suddenly broke out around them far exceeded all expectations. Even the bronze mirror was not enough to calm it, and the sea churned and roiled around them as if the heavens themselves were unleashing their wrath. The small fishing boat carrying the Minakuchi family began to take on water, and it was not long before it started to sink. Sobe immediately rushed to their aid, reaching them just as they had fitted Yuza with a life buoy and gotten him off the boat. The couple still clung desperately to the sinking boat as it was tossed about by the waves. Upon seeing Sobe, Tosuke's reaction was surprisingly composed. Whether already resolved to meet his fate or just mellow by nature, his first response after Mari introduced her was to greet her cheerfully, thanking her for keeping Mari company and expressing surprise that Mari's faraway friend had turned out not to be human. Sobe, however, had no time for pleasantries, consumed only by the thought of getting them to safety. She tried to carry them all from the boat, but even a single person proved to be almost too much for her. Naturally, she also lacked the strength needed to tow the boat out of danger. Even her nature as a mermaid wasn't enough to allow her to save someone precious to her when it mattered most. Filled with distress at her own powerlessness, Sobe was overcome by a sense of despair. Frantic, she tried to take only Mari with her into a bid to escape the sinking boat, but Mari rebuffed her attempt. She had no intention of being the only one saved. Instead, she and Tosuke pleaded for Sobe to help Yuza, saying that his survival meant more to them than anything else. Sobe could not understand. She refused to. She had prepared herself to bid farewell to Mari, but parting like this was too painful for her to bear. Mari, for her part, continued apologizing to Sobe, despite the looming threat of her own death. Concerning for her friend's safety and feeling deep regret at being unable to see Sobe back home, it was more than Sobe could stand. At the moment, Sobe's innermost feelings came into sharp relief. Part of her deep down resented Yuza and Tosuke with all her being. She was happy as long as she had Mari, but Mari had her family to love as well. And yet it was Sobe herself who had wished for Mari to find happiness by starting a family of her own. Overwhelmed by unfamiliar emotions of conflict and self-loathing, she found herself unable to think clearly. Smiling as she clung to the sinking boat half submerged in seawater, Mari thanked Sobe for her friendship and told her that the days they had spent together had been some of her happiest. Sobe was devastated. Every part of her rejected the entire situation. She didn't want to hear Mari bid farewell to her like this. She didn't want to part with Mari at all. She wanted to grab hold of her friend and carry her away to safety, by force if necessary. Even returning home to Ryugu no longer mattered to her as much as this, but she couldn't ignore Mari's plea for her to save her son. Wrenching herself away from the sinking boat, Sobe headed to rescue Yuza, all the while resenting the boy for the tremendous love that Mari bore him. So in other words, Sobe actually fell in love with Mari! I think that's the actual realization. Wow. Wow. The 800-year immortal. When she found Yuza, he had been caught up in a whirlpool and was barely clinging to life. Sobe caught herself feeling almost satisfied at the sight, thinking that it served him right. But if it hadn't been for Yuza, she could have saved Mari. But Mari's plea for her to save Yuza, that her only wish was for him to survive, echoed in Sobe's mind. The next moment, she dragged the dying Yuza out of the whirlpool and, pulling a piece of her own tail, forcibly fed it to him. Whether the emotions driving her at this point were a desire to fulfill Mari's wish or hatred towards Yuza, even Sobe herself couldn't say. After carrying Yuza out of the reach of the storm, Sobe immediately went to rescue Mari. She finally found her after 3 long days of searching, but her efforts had been in vain. Mari's body was already cold. Once someone had died, it was beyond even a mermaid's power to bring them back. Sobe clung to Mari and wept. Never again would she hear Mari's voice calling her name. She laid Mari's body to rest on the seabed and, hiding herself beside it, spent her days mourning, lost in the depths of despair. Several years later, the entrance to Ryugu was unsealed, and Sobe, now with no remaining attachments to the mortal world, made to return home by herself. Before doing so, she met with Mari's sister, thinking to reclaim the mermaid's relic from her. However, put off by the woman's blatant avarice, she found herself unable to muster any interest in her, and ultimately returned without reclaiming the relic, despite knowing full well the misfortune it could bring. Looking back now, what I did to you was wrong. It was an extreme situation, yes, but I must have been mad to even consider it. Every time I remember, I wonder what on earth I was thinking. How could I have done something so cruel to the son Mari loved so much? Even though nothing that happened was your fault. I don't expect you to forgive me, but at least let me say this. I'm sorry. I would do anything within my power to ease your burden. There's something you can do. What? You want a piece of my flesh, but why? I suppose it's not impossible. You could bring it back to the mortal world using the relic I left there. Normally this would be forbidden, but I suppose I was the cause of all this. Maybe it counts as an attempt at making amends, if nothing else. There, it's done. I'll send it to the other side. You'll be able to take it from the box there. The mermaid flesh has been transferred to the Tama Tobacco. The current holder of the box may claim it as their own from the evening of August 7th. Seems you've done everything you came to do. Then this is where we part ways. Know that I won't respond anymore even if you called to me with that signal. Having a means of calling me was prohibited in the first place. Live and be happy, Yuza. For Mori's sake, for all the years she never got to see. Be sure to tell him that when you return to him in the mortal world. Discover Ryugo. There it is. Nothing happened. Darn. Seems like nothing's changed. Let me put it back on the shelf where it belongs. Did it actually change? Hang on. Scale didn't do anything, damn. Let's go back to the story chart then. So did anything change in terms of that? Claim. Let's see. Yeah. Go Minakuchi residence, I think. Maybe not. What? I am still missing 3 birds, I just realized. So what now? What happens if I go in here? Start from beginning, start from Jetty, start from standoff with Mira, start from Kikoku's attack. Standoff with Mira? Now why would I want to throw that away? I could throw this way. Can I also throw away the business card too? Tamadaboko. Well, we have to find the 9th of August 7, yeah. She has the curse stone and everything, yeah. I'm not throwing that away. And why would I want to throw that away? I do have the curse stone and everything too. So we have to talk about the curse stones a lot. Faster child and everything. Yeah, I remember all this part stuff. Just gonna fast forward to see if there's any other decisions. Similar on there, business cards. Yep. Apprehender. Bronze mirror. Talk about the curse and everything. Then there's those two. Start from Lighthouse. Let's see. Wait, do I have all the information? I'm missing number 2. 238, and that's it. Huh. So let's see what happens if I actually call out. I'm seeing the dialogue has not changed at all. I hear my upstairs neighbors. So if I grab all this information, so what happens now? The Minakuchi residence. And then that would actually make us grab the scale, right? Taira no Tomoshige's desires. Do I resume this one, maybe? Start from the bay? This has got to be the area, right? I also have a soda in case if anybody heard, like, the twisting of a thing. There it is. Actually, she's gonna be okay.
Huh?
Sorry, I've been keeping this a secret, but... Okay. Oh, hi, storyteller. All of your efforts have been truly remarkable. The fact that you're seeing this means all of Yuza Miyakuchi's wishes have been fulfilled. You have overcome countless hardships and resolved every dilemma. Congratulations! Now then, as you may be confused as to what exactly has transpired, please allow me to explain. Yuza Miyakuchi's true objective was to obtain the flesh of a mermaid. This was to fulfill his oath of making Sato Shiranami immortal again before her imminent demise that might have led 800 more years together. Blech. I can't speak. However, who could have expected multiple curses to strike Kamashima at the very same time? Yes, I'm referring to the Curse of the Raging Waves more than 4 centuries ago and the Curse of the Tomoshige, which have built up over 800 years.
Newbie! Hi, newbie!
While such calamities would appear to offer naught but misfortune, as luck would have it, these curses were blessings in disguise. They led Yuza Miyakuchi down a path that would otherwise not have been possible. One could very well call it a miracle. The key to all of this was, of course, your efforts. Now I shall describe each pivotal event of the story in order to occurrence. One fated day, August 7th, Yuza Miyakuchi went diving and searched Kamashima for leads to find mermaids. However, that night, Keippei Ikoma sent Kikuo Tsutsui as an assassin to cause the tragedy of Kamashima, thereby allowing him to capture Sato. This shifted Yuza Miyakuchi's priorities away from his search for mermaid flesh as he tragically killed and his mission ends in failure. It would seem that fulfilling his wishes was never in the cause and he instead met with a terrible fate. However, the consciousness lingering within his severed head witnessed something inexplicable. It was the sight of his 800-year immortal body regenerating a new head. Without a new mind complete with all memories intact formed inside the regenerated head of the resurrected Yuza Miyakuchi. The severed head then disappeared, yet the consciousness that had remained within it did not return to his body. Rather, it became a spirit that crossed over to the afterlife, what some might call the eternal world. Thus was another consciousness separated from Yuza Miyakuchi's primary body formed. And that separated consciousness was you. You once asked who am I, but may I assume the answer has now become clear? This separate consciousness of Yuza Miyakuchi remained in the eternal world despite the firm resolve it held, growing even more anguish over its failure without knowing what had occurred afterwards. It dearly desired to find a way to return to its past self and explain the situation before this failure could take place. So it found its way to the boundary between the mortal world and the world beyond. That is to say, it found its way here, to Ryugu. This is the place you laid your eyes upon at the very beginning. This is where your duty began. The fact that this place just so happens to be where the mermaids reside turned out to be a stroke of luck. But because you would lose all memory of this fact once you passed through the gate into the mortal world, I stepped in to humbly guide you along your path. Then, as a spirit, you encountered Yuza Miyakuchi during his dive into the bottom of the sea. Because you resembled a phenomenon known as the Tomokazuki, you were referred to as such. Needless to say, you were not a Tomokazuki. Yet that is how you possessed Yuza Miyakuchi and shared your fragment memories with him. Even so, it was not enough. In your spirit form, you had the ability to use the story chart and travel across space and time to possess other individuals. You entered the minds and memories of various people, jumping between each in turn as you earnestly sought to realize your goals. And that is how things progress behind the scenes during the story. You have fulfilled your role and will now return to the world from whence you came. After you have viewed what became of everyone following these events, this Paranormasight will finally draw to a close. Thank you very much for your diligent attention. August 31st. Wow, that's actually a huge jump.
Okay, so you decided to accept your inheritance, but you're going to university first?
Uh-huh. The wheels are in motion for me to take over the family business after studying real hard at university. Your whole life must be undergoing some major changes. Are you managing okay? You don't have too much on your plate. Actually, about that. Get this. Turns out my ma used to be a certified public accountant. I had no idea. Anyway, the plan's for ma to manage all the assets while I'm studying my butt off. She was apparently waiting like a hawk for the moment to swoop in and make sure you got everything coming to you. I don't know if I should call her cunning, but Sakasa's mom sure knows how to get things done. Damn! That's wild.
Oh, that reminds me. There was something I wanted to ask you, Azami.
Huh?
You mentioned wanting to ask Tsukasa out the other day, so how'd that go?
Go, Sato! You seriously gonna ask right in front of everybody? Jeez! I mean, I guess it's fine since I already asked her, but that could have ruined everything. Wait, you did? When did all this go down?
Oh, I couldn't help myself. I was dying to know. I had to ask even if it messed up your mojo.
Are you sure someone else, someone? You sure are something else, Sato. Anyway, if you need answers that bad, you should ask Tsukasa.
So, what did you say, Tsukasa? How did he ask? Where was it? Tell us already.
You're way too invested, Miss Encyclopedia. You know how things are with me right now. The truth is, I haven't given him an answer yet. Just throw it on her, yeah?
Oh, but at least it's not an outright rejection.
How long are you going to make him wait? I gotta do some soul searching to figure out how I feel, and I need everything to settle down, so around 4 or 5 years? That long? You're going to keep leading the poor guy along all that time? Right? And to top things off, she asked for my help in the meantime.
Your help?
Yep. I want to take over for old man Wakamura and make Kamashima the best place it can be. I want it to be way more convenient and bustling than it is now, an island that tourists flock to, you know? That means I'll need to start a business and manage all that. As you can see, I've got loads of stuff to do. That's why I need you to give it your all as the leader of Kamashima, Azami. Yeah, I guess I'm wanting all that stuff for Kamashima too. That all sounds great, and Azami will definitely be a big help. My plan is to have Azami rise up to the ranks and help me out with a whole bunch of stuff. Once he becomes a big shot like the mirror or something, then maybe we can start going out. What? That'll take way too long. I'll be an old geezer by then. See what I mean? This is what I have to deal with. Seems like that cunningness runs in the family.
Well, you got something to strive for now. Good luck with that.
Quit your belly aching, Azami. We're doing this for Sato and Yuza too, you know. Yeah, I know. We talked it all over before. What do you mean you're doing it for us? Let's just say we were surprised when we heard about you guys the other night. Ah. About how you became an immortal yourself 5 years ago, yeah? By that stage, you secretly gotten your hands on some mermaid flesh for Sato. And now Sato has become an immortal for the second time. Add the fact that you guys have decided to stay together for the next 800 years, it was a lot to swallow all at once. Yeah, sorry for dropping such a big bombshell on you guys. Also, to be precise, we're going to be together for the next 795 years. What's 5 years when you've got centuries? 5 years is a long time.
Yeah, he's right. And we're going to discuss the idea of going for another 800 years when we get close to the end.
Yeah, okay, whatever. It's up to you guys. Do whatever you want. But don't forget that you owe us for keeping such a big secret from us the whole time, got it? For real.
See? I told you we should have gotten their advice from the start.
Yeah, you have been saying that from the get-go. I know you said you'd live on the down low in Kamashima because it'd be a whole other thing if people found out about you two, but people will eventually start getting suspicious even if you try to lead normal lives. What are you gonna do then? Well, we kinda assumed it would all work out somehow.
It's true. We haven't really thought about that at all.
We We figured as much. That's why we're going to protect the two of you. Huh? We'll make some rules on the island so no one will get suspicious of you no matter how long you choose to live. I mean, it's gonna take some time to put our plan into action, but I'm sure we'll be calling the shots around here by the time people start thinking there's something fishy going on with you guys. I was thinking we could build a shrine for you to live up in the mountains.
Oh, a shrine? That sounds incredible.
We can say gods are enshrined there, so people shouldn't go near it without permission. Then I'll make sure the descendants of the Kamui family are protectors of that shrine all the way down to the family line, so they'll always protect you. The Somikawa family managed to pass down their legend for 400 years, so I bet my family could handle a shrine for 800 years or so. That's so thoughtful, but I feel kind of bad for making you guys worry so much, not to mention several generations of your family. It's totally fine, don't mention it. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you and Sato together like this. I know you went through a lot to get to this point, Yuza. I'm really happy for you. Azami. I'm seriously so happy for you. Like, seriously overjoyed. You heard the man. That's why we won't let anyone get in the way of all this happiness. Azami, Tsukasa. Thank you both so much.
So, Tsukasa, the fact that you think up all these plans just for us means the whole world today.
Well, there was one other reason. Yuza's never been the type to look before he leaves, so we have to be around to make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble.
Ah, good point.
Hey, that's not true! You're the one who always gets me into messes, Azami! Nope, you're both wrong. You have any idea how much apologizing I've had to do for you guys over the years? But you're gonna make it up to me now. I'll work you both to the bone. You too, Sato. We're gonna put Kamashima on the map.
You got it. Just tell me what to do, but let's all keep getting each other in and out of trouble from here on out.
Blech. There is a legend in Kamashima. It is a story passed down through the generations about two gods in the guise of a young man and a young woman. They would often leave their shrine disguised as ordinary humans and happily stroll through the town. On occasion, they would sneak off the island and travel around the country before returning home. The people of the island would stop and give a small bow whenever they came across the couple and silently watch as they went on their way. No one knew from whence their pair had come. Their history was shrouded in mystery. But it is said that this mischievously playful and intimately harmonious couple would always look upon one another with pure joy. There was apparently one inviolable rule concerning the pair. One must never sneak up and startle them from behind. Several decades after those events, the country has seen two new emperors reign, and people with any detailed knowledge of those fateful days have grown few and far between. Now the Kante Kisho ruins of Kamashima have become a sacred place for lovers, with couples flocking to it to strengthen their bonds. On this day, the young visitors who happened to come to see the sights spotted a young man and woman together on the roof of the Kante Kisho ruins, gazing happily out to the sea. Damn. Okay, so now that I've officially gotten the quote-unquote Yuzu Kuchi's ending, my thoughts on the game overall. What a bunch of fucking plot twists. There was even more plot twists than the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. I will say this though. This series literally has me hooked. Every single time there's a new Paranormasight game, you know I'm instantly gonna play it. But yeah, this one was definitely a little bit more on the bittersweet side when it comes to certain endings. But the way that this all played out and everything was definitely a little bit more of a game changer compared to the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Because how does one actually figure out that in order to figure out what the fuck is going on, you have to go to the save files and scroll all the way down to the last save? Like, how the fuck are you able to interpret and incorporate that into the freaking layout of the game? Like, goddamn! Because in the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, you had to actually turn down the volume of voices in order to actually not get cursed by one specific curse in that game. That was a fucking game changer when it came to me figuring out how to play that game behind the scenes. This one, on the other hand, you have to use the freaking save files and then goes back to the beginning of the game, and it's like, bruh! Props to the devs for actually making twists like this and actually forcing you to think outside of the box. Like, how the fuck are you able to manage to even do that? And this is why I actually like murder mystery games. These kind of games actually drive me up the wall in a good way. I love it when people actually try to incorporate like settings and shit. It's just such a unique niche of a twist and a unique niche of a method that you have to do. Like, this shit actually is really good. I really like these series. That's the reason why I actually go back into these. Am I going to 100% this one behind the scenes? You bet your sweet bippy I am. If you want to see any of the other endings that I missed, there should be a few Let's Plays out there that involve the ending of Abby's. I don't know if I can actually continue this load game solely to just grab those endings. I don't know if I'm able to do that. If I am, then I'm definitely going the fuck back right before I actually start doing other stuff on stream. But yeah. In all of my years of playing games like this definitely is really fun. If you like mysteries like this, I highly recommend getting the games. The Seven Mysteries of Honjo, that shit, the beginning that you actually start off with, that shit was hilarious. I did not even realize that you can actually do the nonsense that you do in that game. This game definitely threw a lot more curveballs than I was expecting, though. Like, clicking on the mermaid at the beginning of the screen, when you get to like a certain part of the game, that shit was bravo, just bravo. And the fact that you also have to go into the loading files in order to find the actual secret, that was amazing. So yeah, there's my 2 cents on the game. If I can actually get the other endings right now, I'll probably go back and grab those, but till then, yeah. That was a good game. Legend of the Kamashima Twin Gods. Oh, it actually put me back here. So I can get the other endings right now. So what do I need to do in order to get those endings then? I think for this one, it actually involves me failing to get the Tame Tobacco. So why don't we go ahead and do that? What happens if I press deny then?
No, not at all. You got it all wrong.
Oh, then why are you after a mermaid?
Well... You see, I went to find a mermaid because I need to thank them.
Oh, fascinating. Don't tell me. You were once saved by the one in the past?
No, not quite.
Then what do you need to thank one for?
I'm sorry I made that up. I just want to find and meet one, that's all.
Oh, so that's your only reason.
So, do mermaids really exist?
As it happens, 400 years ago, there was an island near here called Taishima. There are legends that tell of 3 mermaids who lived here, Ise, Tobei, and Nagame.
Oh, so there were 3.
But sadly, even after all our painstaking research, we confirmed that meeting any of the 3 is now hopeless.
But, no way.
So my advice on meeting mermaids is this, and this alone. It's time to give up, unless you happen to know things we don't know, of course.
Oh, I see.
You see, that's why we decided to give up on the Ise Bay mermaids, taking in the sights of Kamashima and head home. There are mermaid legends scattered all across the world. We have all the time in the world to begin to search anew.
Oh, so it really is that helpless.
Plus, we can't linger on the island much longer anyway. Source's condition and duties are so starting to be an issue, you see, so we must be taking our leave here.
Hold on. They left. Damn, that's no good.
So, what happens now? That broke. Oh! Alternate timeline! And I believe this is when we find out that they actually still have the mermaid flesh in the Tamatobako. And so Cersei and Navi made their way back to Toba in search of Kippei Ikoma.
Who are you talking to?
Feels more exciting this way, doesn't it?
Huh, you might be right. But it seems like we just missed him.
Even though he claimed he's afraid of the ocean. And the people at the port say he left for Kamashima on a kind of chartered boat.
There are no more ferries today, so we have no way of getting back to the island.
I'm afraid there's not much else we can do. Well, as long as we got to Tamatobako, there might be another chat someday. Cersei, what's wrong?
I don't know, but the Tamatobako is giving off a strange spiritual energy.
Oh? I did notice it felt a bit heavier than before. Let's take a look. Huh? There's something inside!
Huh? Something disappeared inside?
What's this? A chunk of flesh? My goodness, could this belong to a mermaid?
Wait, what? Is it real? It exudes an incredible spirit energy. Whatever it is, it's extraordinary. Doesn't this feel too good to be true, though? It could be a trap or a curse.
I actually found it! The gods haven't forsaken me after all. Thank you, Will. I accept your gracious offering.
Are you seriously going to eat a chunk of mystery eat me just like that? What's wrong with you? Well?
Appetite is good. Very watery, not much fat, and no real texture. But it's not too fishy, so fried manure style, it might not be half bad.
That's all well and good, but I wasn't asking about the taste. I'm not planning on trying anything. How do you feel? Is immortality setting in?
I don't feel any different.
Want me to stab you or something?
But slow down! What if it didn't work? I just suffer a painful skewering for nothing!
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure painful things will still hurt you even when you're immortal. And as far as I understand it, an immortal body doesn't regenerate unless you're fatally wounded.
In that case, I must politely decline. I'm not the biggest fan of pain, you see. Anyway, I'm sure I'll find out if it'll work one day. And the fact that we got a hold of the Tamatobako was already worth the trip.
Well, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
And that concludes Abi and Cersei's exciting Ise Shima adventure. Thanks for reading, everyone!
He's narrating again.
Well, now I suppose I'll be going back to the US. What about you, Cersei?
I think I'll keep exploring the key region for a little while longer. I was thinking of paying a visit to Kumano Gongen.
That's the deity of the Kumano region, right?
That's the one. Actually, it's a collective term for the deities enshrined in the 3 grand shrines known as the Kumano Sanzan.
Oh. Well, I guess that's one ending. I think. And thus, after obtaining the flesh of a mermaid, Obby's wish came true and he was granted an 800-year lifespan. A man like him who's constantly seeks out a new adventure would most certainly never encounter a dull day in those 800 years. Living his life to the fullest, he traveled the world in an everlasting search of thrilling mysteries and marvels. In the mid-21st century, his novel The Tale of Never-Ending Youth, which was inspired by his own experiences, became a surprise worldwide hit. The live-action adaptation by a major US studio provided major success, buying merchandise in the theme park that made him a wealthy man. Always smiling until his final days, he proudly proved that even after 800 years, not all glory is doomed to fade. In the 27th century, he wrote the following words in his journal. "The world keeps on turning. Compared to its birth and the richness of its history, 800 years is far too short." The glory of Arnav Barnum. Huh. That was ending number 2. The Tale of Never-Ending Youth. Okay. So... which ones am I missing then? Let me go to the library and check my Steam statements. And also respond to this message from Ogamish. Bruh. Let's see. Let's see. According to my achievement list, and this is just me actually looking at it, I'm missing the Mermaid's Curse, which is in all other achievements, the Tale of the Ise Mermaids, which is complete the story, and then I have 5 hidden achievements remaining, which are Twinkle of the North Star, find the North Star, but that actually requires a certain part. Phone alone, be terrible at picking up the phone. Legends of the Abbeys, of Abbe's Academy, which is acquiring all mockingbirds. Wait, Arnav has a bad ending I can actually get? What the fuck? How the hell am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to just, where am I supposed to go in terms of that? Stand off with Mirror and Kikuko's attack. So... what I'm hearing is... we're gonna have to... oh my god. Damn, Goji. Alright, stand up with Mirror. We're gonna have to throw away the mirror. And then, we're gonna have to talk with her, but not toss the business card. So what happens if I actually talk with her about the curse stone then? So I do remember also at this part in time, stopping it, shove Kikuo in the ocean, and then use the curse. The rest of this actually does not change anything, except describing about the 2 symbols on the mirror and the business card. Then we introduce those 2. But it did not change anything. Hello? Oh, if I just stray out, just... I forgot to toss the mirror. Okay. Oh, hi, storyteller. Sorry, Arnav. My bad. This is what happens when I rapid click, ladies and gentlemen. Oh well. Things seem to be going quite slowly right up until Kikuo's true nature was exposed. The only one who could stop Kikuo from committing the murder is Mr. Barnum, after all. Try again. My bad. Oh, God. That's one way to find an ending, yeah. So, what happens if I don't use the curse? So then what happens if I actually fail this then? That's the only reason why I decided to do that. Oh! Couldn't do it, damn it, my dream will forever be left unfulfilled. Avi? Is this how I actually get the bad end? Nope, Arvid Burnham is dead. Nope, it's actually not. Is it? So let's go ahead and just shove Kikuo in the ocean and then use the curse. The rest of it actually stays the same. Then we run into those two. So what happens if we go to this one? Start after ending. However, huh? Oh! And thus, after obtaining the flesh of a mermaid, Avi's wish came true and he was granted an 800-year lifespan. However, soon after, Avi was detained at the airport by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau under suspicion of murdering Kikugo Susui with a curse stone. Okay, there's the ending. It was the mangled half-fish remains of Kikuo Susui washed ashore on the coast of Toba that brought the crime to light. Avi fought back furiously, yelling and demanding he got a lawyer and saying he refused to talk. He did everything he could to avoid conviction. In the end, the case never went to court. However, citing the rule that 800-year immortals must be sealed away, a decision was made. From that day on, Arnav Barnum, the cheerful fantasy novelist, was never seen in public again. There's the bad ending. That's the one. And that's the last of the endings as far as I'm aware. Now, the only thing that we have to do is just find all the mockingbirds. Yep. I just got 2 achievements both at the same time. which was... The Tale of Ise Mermaids, which is complete the story, and then Whereabouts of the Missing Author, which was Arnav's Bad End. So the only thing that I have to do now is just find the rest of the Mockingbirds, and then I'll probably go back and try and find Twinkle of the North Star and complete Phone Alone before actually moving on to something else. Alright. So I think for this, it might be time. File number 38. Thank you for playing our game until the very end. As a token of our appreciation, we have some special information to share with you about Sorcerer Suigen Gamyodo. According to the results of an investigation conducted by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, the original Suigen Gamyodo retired following last year's incident involving the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, and a young man with exceptionally potent spirit sense has since taken her place. Although the second Suigen Gamyodo has thus far focused on using his powerful abilities to solidify his social standings, his true purpose seems to be searching for a diviner by the name of Iyo Tokoro, who is said to be responsible for teaching the art of curses and other supernatural techniques to a certain ordinary woman. We look forward to the day we can meet again in another Paranormasight. Sincerely yours, Nagagoshi.
That just means there's going to be more games! Yes! That's going to be this one, games! Yes! Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, I'm a happy mushroom right now. Just happy random bouncing galore! Alright, now where the fuck am I supposed to find these mockingbirds? Apologies for the twist of expression right there. Let's see. Bonus contents in the milestones. I'm just missing 3. One is inside the Sacred Sanctuary. One's inside looking around the Minakuchi residence. And one is with Shotaro on Chuo Street. Those are the remaining 3 that I'm missing in terms of Mockingbird-wise. So... the first one I should probably do is... Where's the one involving the phone call? Claim, point of contact. Nope. Is it this one? Start from the beginning, start from the coast. Or is it Shadow? Yeah, it's this one. This is the one that I actually have to start from beginning. Let's see. This is not the area with the threatening cold call. Is it one prior? Is it during confession? So, start from Wakamura residence. Sato, the phone's ringing.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Shouldn't you get it?
I guess I should. I'm not really sure.
Well, don't look at me. What do you normally do?
Normally I pick it up. It's the least I could do while staying here.
Well, there you go. Just pick it up then.
Yeah, I guess so. Makes sense.
Wait, are you one of those people who lets the phone ringing for a while before picking up? Worried people will think you've got too much free time on your hands or something.
What? How did you... No, that's not it. Sometimes when you pick up too fast, it startles people, so I wait on purpose.
Okay, so haven't we waited long enough?
No, just a bit more. Let it bring a little shows where being thoughtful.
If you wait this long and then pick up all of a sudden, I feel like that's going to startle them too.
I mean, don't you hate picking up the phone? This one in particular is giving me a real bad feeling.
Well, I guess I do get where you're coming from. Wanna just ignore it?
Maybe, but even though I have a bad feeling about it, I still feel like we really should get it.
Yeah, same. Something about it's bugging me.
Still, if it stops ringing just before I pick up, then that's just fate, right?
If they hang up, then that's true. We're destined to not hear the call. So let's get this straight. You're worried about the call, but also too scared to pick up.
That might be the case, if only there was someone a little braver than me.
No, I refuse.
I didn't say you!
Yeah, but you implied it. I don't want to get it either. Something doesn't feel right about it.
Damn.
Alright, fine. I'm scared, but I'll do it. I'll pick it up.
No, wait, I can't let you get involved too. It's too dangerous. I'll do it.
Okay. Go ahead then.
But you tricked me! You know, I really thought if we kept this up, they hang up. But man, talk about persistent.
Also, you're real important if they waited this long. Maybe it's time to actually answer it?
Yeah.
Funny. Alright, that's another achievement done and out of the way. Then we had to go back to confession. And it said on Churro Street. So is it this one? So there should be one around here somewhere. Aha! That's Mockingbird number 14. Who was named Maverick Mandy. That's cute. Alright, so that was that one. Now, the last ones that we need to find is in the sacred sanctuary and looking around the Minakuji residence. So, which specific area in terms of that would it be? Maybe it's claim? Start from Lighthouse. Wait. So after talking with them, we'll use Sato's point of view to try and see if we can actually get the thing. Admit. Please, I need it. Tell the truth. Then we go to Minakuchi residence. This area should be where I should find the Mockingbird. So where? What the fuck? Why is it in that back corner right over there?
Oh, what's this?
That's Mockingbird number 4, which is Tutantil. Now, where is the sacred sanctuary? Which sanctuary are they talking about then? I know I found like most of them, but I don't know where this one is talking about. So I'm actually gonna go and look it up on a guide, because otherwise I do not know where the fuck they're talking about in terms of this sanctuary. Who the fuck is adding me? Oh, it's in the dojo. Oh, that's why. they were asking who the fuck Heathcliff was in Olympus Company. Alright. Alright, so the last mockingbird. Where would this one be? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Where is it? This one. So when they say sanctuary, they legit mean from the sacred sanctuary. According to this, it's going to be around here somewhere. I think it's once we get deeper in. And then it should be around here. Hello, mockingbird, where are you? Turn on the light and look to your right towards the ceiling. All the way over there? What the fuck? Jiving jaws. Jiving javas. What the fuck? You found no toy mockingbirds. The mockingbird theater has been unlocked. What? So let's go back to the story chart. And then files. Did file number 2 come out? How do I get file number 2 then? Let's see. Let's check out the mockingbird thing. Holy shit! Ha! Alrighty, what happens if I press Mockingbird Theater? What the shit is going on with this? Is this actually a fucking phrase or something? Oh, God. Well, looks like the sunshine has his big bright mug. Guess it's time then. Time to head to school. Slow bird sit for time. Rough and tumble first year at ABS Academy. Oh my fucking God. Are we just basically just having some sort of scenario happen? Multiple acts of wanton feather plucking violence finally earned him a suspension. A suspension that ended just yesterday. Any further trouble roughhousing tendency otherwise. Oh my fucking God. I don't even know how to react to this. What the shit? I'm sorry, I cannot even read this shit. I'm too distracted to reading it. 20 minutes later, what? Chat, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Dude, I have no idea what in Sam Hill's going on with this, but this is really freaking funny. Birds. Bruh. Chat, this is really fucking funny, and I'm not even reading it. The fact that those two went on for 20 freaking minutes! The fact that these two went on for 20 freaking minutes of just non-stop chirping and everything, like, bruh! Can I also appreciate the fact that every single one of them has, like, different aesthetics based off of what their theme's supposed to be? Shit! Oh no. I can't with this music, by the way. This is really stinking funny. The way that every single one of them is just, like, also pressed and everything, like, bruh. Well, that was worth 2 minutes reading then. Well, that was worth 2 minutes of reading. Anyways, the last thing that I just need to do is just find the North Star, and I think it's roughly around here. Fudamigura nighttime. I believe it's right here. There's Cersei. And then is it this one? That's Ares. Let's see. It's in this triangle area. What about this one? What about this one? There should be one around here somewhere that I can actually pinpoint to. What's this one? Interesting. Did I actually find all 3 stars? Deneb, Vega. Holy shit, I actually did. Okay, well. So where do I find the... I don't think that bird is okay. None of the mockingbirds are, to be fair. Alright. Let's see. Paranormasight. Where the fuck do I find the North Star? Unless if it's that, let's see. Deep sea aspiration. Unforgivable decision. The bottom left of Deneb. So there's Deneb. Then it would be right around the very bottom right there, nearby that 5-star constellation area. According to this guide. So in other words, there's Deneb. To the bottom right of Deneb. Right here? Alright, I have to talk with Cersei first. There. Let's see. So, Deneb is right there. To the bottom left. So, here? Unless that's not Deneb. This one Deneb? There's Deneb. Okay, so if this one's Deneb, should be the bottom left, right where things are. So if there's Deneb, then it should be right around here somewhere. That? There's the North Star. There it is. Okay. So the only thing I have left to do is just try and find one final thing. And that's just getting all of the files. And I think I'm missing just file number 2, aren't I? Yeah, I don't know how to get file number 2. Hang on. For those that are wondering, I am just looking up for the rest of it just so I can 100% it. Because why the heck not? My brain's actually already in overdrive from doing this entire game anyway, so... note number 2 is what I'm missing. Let's see... Toner and the youth. Nope. Let's see. Acquiring all finals. This will be acquired as part of completing the game. Just make sure you read all of the files from the account. That's for all the information of Gossip Whispers. File 2 and 9 are cited as being missed quite often. These are the cityscapes in Mount Asuma section of Arnold's first chapter and the bridge in Onurua bridge investigation. What? I have the Onurua bridge one, so I'm just missing the Mount Asama one. So is it close to where? Let's see, where is it safe in this one? Mount Asama, yeah. Ise Shima region. Toba, something keep in mind. There it is. The information of Ise Shima, that was the one I was missing. Although the term Ise Shima is sometimes used to refer to part of the Nansei southern region of Mie Prefecture, the area covered by this term is not clearly defined, with it usually referring to the two major tourist destinations, Ise Shima Peninsula and their surrounding areas. As the area refers to as Ise Shima, also includes Toba City, it also sometimes referred to as Ise Tobashima area to avoid confusion. Ha! Well, that is all 53 notes. I got all the 20 mockingbirds, which means I have everything now. That is 100% completion from me with Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. So literally, the game is fully completed now. I actually got all the achievements. So yeah. Those last couple of areas were actually really annoying to try and find, but I have all 29 achievements, which is hilarious because I also have all 34 achievements from Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. So, I can officially say I have completed Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. Still a really good game. Really, he suggests people play it on their own, especially if they actually enjoy it. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Paranormasight of the Mermaid's Curse. Tune in next time for when I play Tunic, as soon as I get the thumbnail done for that. But yeah! Boy, that was actually a lot more tedious than I was expecting. Oh well, achievement completed. That's what I wanted to do before I actually ended this Let's Play.